Yo, what up, Who Dey fans? You got G over here. You got Jeff over there. We are here tonight talking some Joe Burrow, rumors, all kinds of stuff floating around there, Jeff. Gonna just dive right into this one because, you know, there's some word on the street here that there's a possibility that Joe Burrow plays some football here in the next game. What do you think about that? What have you heard about that? What are your thoughts on that? Let's get right into it.
Well, we titled it. We're back. First of all, it's been a couple of weeks.
We are back.
We're back. Is Joe Burrow, right? The Bengals. Like I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to say an expletive right off the top.
That's all right.
I texted you earlier. I was like, "What a miserable fucking season this has been." You could go from starting from Trey Hendrickson's holdout to Shamar Stewart, all the way through the Burrow injury to all the stuff, and then today. You see the injury report comes out. There goes the emo haircut looking psychopath, American Psycho Joe Burrow is a full participant, folks, a full participant in practice. And yes, the Bengals are 3-7. Yes, this has been a season from hell. But tell me, as you know, Joe Burrow is my favorite NFL player of all time, my favorite Cincinnati Bengal all time, and right up there with my favorite athlete of all time. So if I got a chance to watch him play on Sunday, Josh, or coming soon, maybe it's not this week, we'll get into that. I'm going to want to watch him play. Now, we'll get into whether he should or not and what the organization should do, but to see Joe Burrow listed as a full participant in practice, right, overshadows, obviously, Mike Gesicki's full participant. Dejon Anthony, we can get into that, but Joe Burrow is – you know, neither one of us have hair, sweeping his hair back, running, cutting, 11 on 11, full participation. I mean, what were your thoughts when you saw that?
Well, first off, I got that text from you when I was in the tree stand. So I'm out there, you know, checking out some deer, and I really did have a deer. And Jeff's blowing me up about this. And then next thing I know, the next text I get from him is, Joe Burrow's a full participant in practice. So of course I'm up there and I'm not even watching the woods. I'm checking them on my phone and I'm listening to some stuff. I'm looking at some stuff, but you know, seeing that out there is pure psychotic. It's psychotic. Okay. So in my opinion, if you're a high performance athlete, you are a high performing athlete and you are just top notch, top tier, top 5 in the league of any sport that you play, you have to have some sort of mentality or something inside your brain and your head that just doesn't quite click right. The synaptic gaps are like not touching somewhere, right? Yeah. And so they have to have that mentality of, you know, I'm a beast and I'm going out there and I'm taking it. And I think that, I mean, we don't need to think. We know Joe Burrow is that guy. We know it. So
He's him. And, you know, KP from KC, I put this up on there. It's a great. Come back to play with that defense. He knows he's going to get a lot of reps, man.
He just wants to listen.
He's going to say, hey, I'm going to throw a touchdown and I'll be right back out there after 6 plays when the defense gives it up. So I get what you're coming from, KP. I appreciate that. Like, I want all the smoke. It's the worst defense in the history of the NFL, literally.
Yeah.
It's literally the worst.
Yeah.
And they still have won 3 games somehow. So I think Burrow – I'm going to start calling him. It's true. KP, it's another great point. I'm going to put it up here if you keep spitting bars, as they say.
Oh, that's a good one.
He's him and the organization is them. Like, it's
Absolutely.
True. Katie Blackburn, did you see on social media that she was on a flight to like Charleston, South Carolina, flying first class commercial? You're a billionaire and you're like, that's just an epitome. But let's keep this to Joe Burrow. Like, the organization, there will be a time and a place for us to go with them. We already have. But Joe Burrow, like, he's coming back, whether it's Sunday or Thursday, Thanksgiving, right?
Well, watching Zach's press conference, and he starts talking about Flacco. You didn't get any kind of sense when they started talking about. I mean, I know he said, not till he hits 11 on 11s. Well, Zach, sorry, but he's a full participant now. So, did you get any kind of hint that Zach was even giving it a little bit of thought as far as Joe playing on Sunday?
Think about this. If you're Zach Taylor,
if Joe doesn't come back and win games, Zach Taylor's dead. So Zach Taylor's out on a ledge anyways, and he knows that the only freaking hand that he can grab is Joe's, right? So Joe's that guy, but this is the part of the show that we come into is Zach going to let him be that guy? And is that a smart thing to do?
What choice does he have? If I'm Zach Taylor,
Zach Taylor has no choice, but the organization does.
Remember when the golf cart came out and Mike Brown said, yeah, you're not going to play, and then he played?
I do. Maybe he needs to get a freaking bus out there.
Here's the thing, too. Like, there's a lot of podiatrists on Twitter that's going to tell you what the toe can do and how it's going to be put back together. And all this is like, look, the Bengals, yes, they are a less than desirable organization to play for at times, right? Like, I'm trying to be nice here. But what I will say is they're not idiots. This is going to have to take a doctor actually saying, look, Joe is medically cleared. He's going to play with something in his shoe to just help stabilize, just like if he came back from a knee injury and, right, like you wear a knee brace. I was listening to a doctor on 1530. They said they're going to wear a brace and it's just stabilize it to keep it from bending or anything. It's still all that stuff. I don't have any doubt that the doctors and things have weighed in on it. And that may be what keeps him from playing, is that they get a report on Friday where a doctor says, you know what, Joe, you need 2 more weeks. And then you can come back. And that may be what happened.
Who gave him the report? But who gave him the report that he could come out full participant in practice, running, cutting, split?
That's what I'm saying. Like, who are
who's running the organization then? He is.
Well,
if he comes out and he plays on Sunday, Jeff, and he is the starter and he plays the entire football game, then Joe Burrow runs this organization. Zach Taylor does. Zach Taylor is just a footnote. And that's what he has been his entire career. He's been a footnote in the Joe Burrow era. There's nothing that Zach can do at this point that would make me feel comfortable bringing him back next year. Zero. There's nothing that he could do. Joe Burrow could win out.
Hold that thought. I want to get to that.
All right.
Talk about the now, right? Because I think, like, if you were going to let
that is the now, though, Jeff, that is the now too, though. Zach Taylor is fighting for his life right now.
But if you were going to fire him in season, you would have already done it.
They're not going to fire him in season.
Exactly.
I'm saying
Zach's the coach till Black Monday.
Zach's he's throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks. He has to. That's what you're seeing on defense. He's thrown everybody. He's thrown the book out at every team with every player that we have. He's mixing everything up. He's trying anything that he possibly can do. And this is not a Zach Taylor problem right now.
Right.
Zach Taylor is not the quarterback. Zach Taylor is not Joe Burrow. Zach Taylor has Burrow in a medical tent, and he's got Joe Flacco hurt, and he's got Jake Browning in the wings. Yeah. So this isn't totally a Zach Taylor problem, but at the same time, you'd be remiss if you didn't mention the fact that he's sitting there every single Sunday, Jeff, and last Sunday especially, he had to be saying, that's it, I'm cooked. That's it. That's my job.
And the thing about it is, though, if you're an NFL fan, right? Think about this as just you're an NFL fan. It's the entertainment industry. Yes, we bleed orange and black. Like, this is our favorite team. It sucks so bad that they suck.
That's
right.
Terrible.
But if you're an NFL fan, you have potentially an opportunity now to see Joe Burrow versus Drake May. The old version of Joe, what Joe maybe used to be, right?
Joe and Allen. Joe and Allen. You're going to see Joe and Jackson.
And Jamar Jackson. And say what you want about Tua, but Burrow and Tua, like, there's multiple games coming up. You think Joe Burrow doesn't want to play against those guys?
Oh,
like that. He had circled that to say, I'm coming back because I want to show everybody, whether we win or not, that I can still compete at the highest level. And you know what? He's paid $55 million a year AAV. And I think the organization knows, like, hey, let's think about it this, KP. You think Katie Blackbird's not saying, we won't have a lot of empty seats if Joe Burrow plays on Sunday. If he's cleared, put him out there. The place will be like, would you not, if you lived in Cincinnati, would you buy tickets on Sunday?
How much are the tickets on Sunday right now, Jeff? Tell
you can get in for $62 on the Game Time
$62, you walk in the gates.
Promo code Jungle Theater. It won't work because we're not sponsored by them, but go ahead and throw it in there anyway. It'd still be $62 to get in. But yeah, KP, another comment in here. He says, let Zach, this is kind of to your point, let Zach fight for his life with his own life jacket, not a Burrow jacket.
Don't disagree.
So let me ask you this, Josh. Who is making the decision Who are making the decisions in the organization right now?
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
Joe Burrow's making the decisions. He's telling the organization where we're going, what we're doing. He has been for the last 2 years. There's zero question about it.
Is that a problem though?
No, I don't think so. I think Joe did his part. Joe, he's the quarterback. We use that term a lot in other sports, right? You're the point guard. You're the quarterback of the basketball team. You're the point guard. You're the center mid for soccer, right? I mean, we use that term a lot. Well, he's the quarterback.
Man.
Now, what did he do? He took care of his side of business, didn't he? He got Jamar. He got Gesicki. He got T. He got all those guys to stay. He got all those guys to sign. That's what he did on his side. Okay. That's the rest of it isn't his. It's not up to him.
Yeah.
The defense isn't up to him. He doesn't know the defense. He knows the defense because he plays against them 11 on 11. I mean, let's be honest. All right. I mean, he knows the guys, I'm sure he's buddies with the guys and their friends and stuff, but I mean, he's not paying attention to what they're doing every practice. He's not paying attention to how they're playing. Is he frustrated with how they're playing? I'm goddamn right he is. 2 years now he's been scoring, 30 plus, 40 plus points, and we're losing games. And now we have Joe Flacco coming in doing the same goddamn thing, Jeff, and we're still losing because teams are scoring 30 points. I mean, it's frustrating, like you said, on that first text that you sent me. But now that you got a little glimmer of hope, which we just see we've talked about this so many times on this podcast, and it's been, that glimmer of hope, or who are you excited to see? What are you excited to see? What are you excited for? Well, I think now the Bengals Nation does have something. I don't think
let's get your take on the screen here from Greta.
Yeah, I'll get it right now, Greta.
Put him in for 2 games in 5 days?
No.
I've got a thought on this, but I want to get you first.
No, I don't think I do not think, Greta, that's a great question. I do not think that it is safe to put Joe in for 2 games in 5 days, but I don't think that it matters whether he's in for 2 games in 5 days or in for anything, period. Yeah. Do I think it's smart for Joe to jump in right now? No, I don't. Do we have anything to say about it? Does Zach have anything to say about it? Does anybody have anything to say about it? Because like we just said, Greta, who's running the organization?
Well, Mike Gesicki said something like this, though.
Back to your point too, Jeff. I'm sorry, you can go to Greta in just a second, but back to your point with Joe and circling those games against those quarterbacks, right? So you're talking about a guy that is insane, okay? Mm-hmm. We talked about that. He's not right in the head because he can't be. You can't be in that position. You have to be a killer. You have to have a different mentality. And that's what we're seeing, Greta, I think, is that Joe Burrow is telling the rest of the organization, screw you. I don't care because when I'm healthy, I'm playing. And he's a dog. He's a fighter. And that guy, it will not shock me that he goes out and plays. But is it smart, Greta? No. The smart play is for him to not play at all. But he doesn't. Does he run the organization? I guess we're going to find out on Sunday. Well, if he wants to play, I want to hear. Jeff, I want to hear Joe talk. When's the next time he talks?
So, first and foremost, to Greta's point, to kind of put a pin in that.
Answer that. I just
played 2 games in 5 days. They asked Mike Gesicki the same thing today, and Mike Gesicki said, "If you're cleared to play one, you're cleared to play the other, unless obviously you get hurt in the game that you're cleared to play." So he's like, it's not like they were asking him essentially like, hey, if you're cleared Sunday, which, obviously they do need Mike Gesicki. We haven't even got into the Jamar Chase situation. I don't really want to talk about that on that match. It is what it is. But yeah, if Mike Gesicki kind of said that. So I think I'm not a doctor, not trying to play one. If the doctors say that he's cleared and that Joe has to be honest with them too, right? Because Joe Burrow's a tough SOB. He can gut through some pain. If he's sore, right, which he probably is, he has to tell the organization that. He has to tell his coach that. Now, there's a difference between being sore, after practice and then it kind of subsides and you're okay after you ice it down or like whatever, like it's just normal after a surgery, versus, hey, this isn't getting any better. I need to maybe pull this back. And, we could see a setback. I think, I
don't think so. I don't think it's a matter of setback or set. I think he is gunning. I think that you're right. I think he's gunning for the games that he has ahead of him, some of the quarterbacks he has ahead of him. And you're right. I think that his mentality, because he is a psychopath, and that's what I love about him too. is that he just wants to go out. He wants to compete. He's going to go out. He's going to compete. We will see him again, Jeff. It's whether it's Sunday or not. You're going to see Joe Burrow. Okay. I mean, you think that if Joe's a full participant today, in 5 days he's not also. I mean, come on.
Orlovsky was on NFL Live and said Joe's playing. He's like, you're not full on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then
that's what I told. And that's what I told a member in my household who may, also be watching right now. She asked me the same thing. If you're practicing on Wednesday, doesn't that mean you're playing on Sunday? And I said, typically it always means if you're practicing on Wednesday, you're playing on Sunday, but you're also talking about Joe Burrow. So, we have to pump the brakes just a little bit because we do have to realize this is not a cornerback that we're talking about. This is a quarterback we're talking about.
And who knows, right? Tomorrow he could be limited, be sore. There could be a setback. That's the way this season's gone. In the chat, I see, made me forget about this, but we need a therapist. Yes, we do. This is therapy for us. But
we've talked about that already. This person's been following us for a while because this is every season is Cincinnati Bengal therapy. I didn't see that comment, Jeff, down there. But
how about this name though that popped up? Nick Scott. I had totally forgotten that we signed that dude and thought he was going to start at safety. So, oh my God.
That's great.
Use that we're going to talk about the defense in a second. But
all right, but if we have the point, if we got that button that gives people points, give that guy points. That's great. Yeah.
1,000 points for that one. Let me ask you though, we haven't talked about Jamar yet, right? And obviously, the Bengals record is what it is. I'm not going to. You can go watch any podcast or we can break down film. This isn't that. This is two guys kind of talking on the phone, having a conversation. That's what we do. But Jamar, we haven't had a chance to talk about it. When I was watching the game, I was watching with Victor, my son, and I was like, I watched the replay. I was like, he spit on that dude. And then I kind of put it out of my mind. But I did. I was like, I said that.
I thought he did too, but I thought it was I thought he was talking. I did. I really did. That was my first response was I saw that, but I thought he was talking and screaming, and spit. I didn't.
Yeah.
But then we saw it. But
I was like, he spit on that dude.
Do we really want to get into that right now? Because do
you think it's fair? Do you think the one game and move on?
Yes.
Okay. I think that's, he did it.
I think it's fair. Now, I think that Ramsey took a couple cheap shots.
Of course.
I think he was all over him all game. And I think that his job was to get into Jamar's head, and he did. And shame on Jamar for letting him get into his head. For what he did. Yeah. It's unexcusable. It really is. I'm sure that anybody will, any athlete knows that, any human knows that probably the most despicable thing to say to somebody or do to somebody is a spit.
Yeah.
It's just an insult that you can't forget. But you also have to remember that these people are humans.
Sure. He made a mistake. He's going to pay handsome for it.
You tell me, anybody that's watching, listening, the 6 viewers that are going to watch this in the next 3 weeks. You tell me that you have not made a terrible mistake in your life. If you can tell me that, if you can seriously tell me that, then talk to me about this. But a game suspension, fair. Move on. And I'm sure that we'll hear out of Jamar's camp at some point.
And that's my big thing. And we can move on from Jamar, but it's how does he said after it, hey, I didn't spit on anybody. Clearly you did. So when he can't, he cannot be in the building. They can't talk to him until Monday of next week.
Monday.
So you're not going to get a chance to talk to Jamar. So he has a whole week to which I think is a good thing.
Yeah.
Jamar needs to come back and say,
well, you got to get your head straight too, Jeff. If you're Jamar Chase, the roller coaster we're doing as fans, think about him as a number one wide receiver in the NFL, because there's no doubt. There's no question that he is, in my opinion, I think he's one. I think he is, if he's not I think he's one of the most electric and best players in sports.
Yeah.
And I mean athletics. I think he is one of the most iconic and top-notch athletes that there are. I don't know that there's much of an argument to that at this point, but you got to take time to reset. Okay. And I know a lot about that, Jeff, and you know that. Yeah. Sometimes you take a step back and you take a look at yourself, you take a look at your life, and you refocus and you come back. Now, I think that might be the best thing for him, because if you think this is frustrating for us, can you imagine him? He's still putting up numbers.
His boy's coming back potentially, and he can't play.
and he can't play.
And it costs you $507,000.
He can't. Not only can he not play, he can't talk to him.
Yeah. I mean, they can talk, but they can't talk.
They can't. They can't talk. Yeah, they can't talk.
I'm
like
sure they can talk on their personal. There's nothing to stop that. But I think, yeah, Jamar next week, say all the right things, coach him up, say what you need to say, get in, get out, don't cause any more stir, be the same guys you are, and go kick the Ravens' ass on Thanksgiving night. I don't care if we're 3-8 or 4-7. Or whatever we are, we always want to beat the Ravens. But I do want to put something up here. I think it's a comment that I want to get your opinion on. I think so. Take us a little bit away from Jamar. To play and possibly save Duke and Zach would be a grave mistake. Do you think, one, would winning, let's say they win 4 more games, right?
Yeah.
Is that going to save Duke and Zach, or are they already saved? One. No. And 2, what would have to happen for Duke and Zach to be let go at this point? We've been fans I'm 43 years old, I think. I've been a fan my entire life. I've seen a lot of bad things, but this is up there in the top 3 worst seasons because of what we could have been with just a couple of things. But do you think does it make a difference whether they go 10-7 or 3-14 the rest of the way on what happens with those 2 guys?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it does. I think if Joe comes back and flips the tables, or let's say Joe Flacco wins a couple games and then Joe comes back and we go, I think that Zach and Duke probably do skate by. I think that also, to KP's point, if Zach Taylor does not do something to drastically improve this team within the next week to 2 weeks, he's done. Duke Tobin, I don't know. I don't know the relationship there, but it seems to be a pretty strong one between the Brown family and the Blackburns and Duke, because I don't know any other GM, right? We'll go ahead and give him the title, that has fucked up this bad, pardon my French, but it's the truth, that still has a job. I mean,
that was executive of the year 2.5 years ago.
Which is insane.
2.5 years ago.
I know, which is insane to me, because when you look at his drafts, it's just absolutely just ridiculous. But let me get back to KP's point.
Yeah.
Do I think that this saves, the Burrow comes back, saves them, blah, 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 blah. I don't think they're saving Zach. I think you're still going to see Duke Tobin. I don't think Duke Tobin is gone unless you see 2 more years of just terrible drafting, and we're in the same misery as we are at this point right now. But Zach, to me, I don't think Zach has anything short of a miracle playoff run. He's gone.
I would agree. He's coming up in a contract year, right? It's pretty much a lame duck if you don't. You either have to extend or fire. His contract's up after next season. But there is precedent with what they did with Marvin, and I get that's a different situation.
You had to say the name.
All that stuff. I'm just saying, it happened. There were multiple times that we thought,
it happened.
Fired, and he
cat
with 9 lives. Zach Taylor, and I do think, 10, 15 years from now, let's say Zach Taylor is let go after this season, right? And I think he probably will be, unless Burrow comes and does hero ball and they go
there's a miracle.
And win the division.
Unless there's a miracle.
And we haven't even talked about the division, or the next step. I think Taylor, just watching the press conference, ripping Chase Brown for giving a shit. I don't get that, man. I don't. And I think Zach Taylor, there was a time that he had a really tight grip on this locker room, but he also had DJ Reader. He had Tyler Boyd. He had Mike Hilton. He had Von Bell. He had Jesse Bates. He had guys that were leaders in the locker room holding it together for him. And it wasn't just Zach signing game balls and deliver them to Oakley Tavern and all this stuff. It was, and the best teams are player-led, right? And so I think 10, 15 years down the road, Zach Taylor will be fondly remembered because he's as accomplished as any coach that the Bengals have ever had. He's been to the Super Bowl. He's won an AFC championship. So did, Weish and yeah, 81. Who was the coach in 81? Was it Forrest Gregg?
It was, yes.
Okay, so fondly remembered, but it's going to take time, right? Because you're leaving on a sour note. I mean, you have Burrow 3 of 6 years and you don't make the playoffs. Now injuries get into that. But I think that they don't have and I'm going to go on just a slight rant here for just a second.
Go for it.
I do not think, no matter where this season goes from here, I do not think this is a total unmitigated teardown of the entire roster. If you look at the offense, right, there's some work to do on the offensive line, but they've gotten a little bit better. There's a couple young guys on there. Rivers, I'm not quite sold on, but like maybe we can deal with it, but like whatever. But really, as you go into free agency and the draft, think if you were the Saints or the Jets. You think if they could like bulldoze it and say, hey, we don't have much, but we have two of the best players literally in the league to start with and build our draft and free agency plans through that. The Bengals already have that, along with a DJ Turner, and I think Dax Hill's serviceable, and then obviously everything you have on the offense. So I think you have to invest in mid-level veterans to bring in on the defensive side of the ball. This whole, we're going to draft rookies and they're going to come in and they're going to be successful. Look at your 3 rookies on defense right now. They are literally the worst in the league.
Yep.
They're and you know, hey, they all might end up being great players or solid players or average players.
Yeah, I see your point there, and there's a good point to be made there as far as the defensive. But it goes right back to Duke Tobin, right? I mean, it's the roster that we have. It's the roster that's put together. That's the problem. It's our draft that's wrong. It's the players that come out of the draft that aren't a fit for the team. Shamar Stewart, I told you this from the very start, from the minute that he said he wasn't going to sign because of some clause about if he went to jail, he wouldn't be a Bengal or something crazy like that. Ridiculous. I mean, that was just insanity. But I haven't liked the guy. I don't.
He's got a lot to prove to earn to the fans.
He's got a lot to prove after that. Now, if he was just a rookie, Jeff, and we were talking about Demetrius Knight, okay, I could say, okay, young player, leads the team in tackles, learning defense, definitely needs to improve his tackling. You know, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about. But then you talk about Shamar Stewart. Okay, well, where are you? You're the same place that you were when camp started.
One thing I did positive, though.
About him?
No.
Okay.
Miles Murphy. They've called him Miles Way Murphy. He had his best game as a Bengal, and he's getting an opportunity. Like Trey Hendrickson, I don't think he'll ever play for the Bengals again. I think he's
Miles Murphy. I
gotta give him some credit. I thought that he knew he had an opportunity on Sunday, and yes, the score was what it was. But Miles Murphy took advantage of his individual situation. He can't control Geno Stone making a business decision or just guys busting coverage. But you got it. What I started looking for as we think about building this out is the Bengals have been drafting for like these freak athletes and the ARS scores, as they call them. Like I was looking at a linebacker for the second round, the guy from Ohio State. I forget his name. Not Reese, not one of their best ones. You know how many missed tackles he has for Ohio State this year? And I know it's college football. 0. I want that guy. Right? Like Geno Stone made a decision. I get it. Washington's 315 pounds coming at you 6'7". I get it. There I did again. 6'7", 6'7", 6'7", but whatever. But he made a business decision. You tell me you couldn't have taken you couldn't have at least grabbed him around the feet and then somebody came in. I don't like Geno Stone. He should not be playing. If you benched Logan Wilson and traded him, why in the hell is Geno Stone out there? PJ Jules, Tyson Anderson, Dejon Anthony's back today. One of those guys, they literally can't be worse than Stone.
You're going to see Dejon Anderson. You're going to see Dejon. Dejon will play.
I don't think he's going to play this week. I think it's going to be Thursday.
I don't know. What do you think? Are you going by Zach's press conference?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because Zach was very careful when it was Burrow. With Hendrickson, he's like, he's doubtful. Peter, he's doubtful. Dejon, we'll see. I think but I don't see any reason to not play Tyson Anderson for Geno Stone Sunday.
Yeah, well, we've been talking about that since the beginning, since the first podcast we had. We talked about Tyson Anderson.
Goodberry's they were talking on Twitter right before I got on here. They're like, you could put Dylan Fair, or you could put Lucas Patrick at safety on Sunday. I'd be fine with it. And he's like, it's something I'd like to see. Something different, right? Obviously you're not going to do that, but it's one thing for Geno Stone to blow a coverage. It's another thing on multiple occasions to clearly make a business decision and say, I'm not getting hurt for this.
Exactly.
I'm in a contract year. I ain't getting hurt.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. And who, you think Jesse Bates does that? Von Bell? Come on, man. I mean,
No.
those guys
Or
put their
if they
bodies
did,
on the
they've
line.
earned enough to where they could, like, if they did it one
Yeah,
time.
well, now, but I mean, back then it was. It was.
They never did
It was
that.
kill or be killed.
You know what? We never, Josh, until last season's team, really. Like watching NFL, I don't even think about missed tackles till I started watching this bunch. Like it doesn't even cross my mind watching go watch the Bills Texans tomorrow night. See how many, I'm going to count. I'm going to do it. I'm going to count how many missed tackles. You know how many missed tackles the Bengals had against the Steelers? Guess.
I don't even want to. 36.
17.
It was horrible. It was terrible, dude. I couldn't even.
17. How many plays
that's one of the
do you even
games.
run in
That's
a game?
one of the games. That's one of the games I walked away from. And I'll tell you what.
I
You know,
watched
my
it for
daughter. Oh,
I
my
watched it for
daughter
you.
was so pissed at me. She said, "You're not a Bengals fan, then." She goes, "I watch every play till they kneel."
Good for her. Well, I appreciate
I said,
that.
I didn't want to be sick. So, I mean, I walked out. That's all.
Victor was saying, he's like, I don't want to watch the rest of it. I was like, you can leave the room. Like, you don't have to stay. And he stayed and watched. And like, I get it. Like this is part of us. It's in our DA. It's hard to quit. And so that's why I give Burrow credit. And like, there's a lot of conversation. And so I'll put a comment up. Speaking of Greta, is another comment from her. Burrow's got to be a beast. If his first full practice was today, November 19th, and his full practice, full participation, and no limits was, September 12th. We're talking 8-9 weeks, not even since injury. And
That's
so, I mean, and he's not playing. I was at the game that he got hurt.
Yep.
And it was September 14th was the game. And so if I'm doing my math correctly, the 23rd of November, and I think he had surgery on the 19th. So you're about 8.5 weeks from the surgery and I guess I've never had a torn ligament in my toe. I don't know what that feels like.
I mean, I've had 2 torn Achilles. I can tell you, it doesn't feel great.
Yeah. Well, so the rehab for a toe is like what? Move around.
You got a Puka. I mean, you have to talk about Puka. I mean, Puka Nacua is the prime example for that.
So I think, man, just like some people are built a little bit different. Some people are wired a little bit different. I got to give Burrow credit. Like, I don't think he would put his career in jeopardy to come back. I really, truly don't. I think he's heard what he needs to hear, and that's why he's out there. I just wish there were more guys wired like that, because I'm telling you, and I think I sent you this voice memo today. Like I said, if you've never watched or listened to us before, this is kind of like 2 guys talking on the phone. That's what it is. Where was I going with that? It's just basically like, I want guys that give a crap. And there's too many guys on the staff, in the locker room. Get them out of the building, right? Like Zach Taylor's, I think he cares. He certainly cares, but he's lost the locker room. They're not listening to that dude. And there's too many guys, in my opinion, that are like laughing after the game. We'll talk to you on Monday. Don't care, right? Jesse Bates, Vaughn, like we can name these guys off. They gave a crap. And there's too many guys that it's clear to me they don't. I think DJ Turner does. That dude's balling out. It's 35 minutes in and we haven't even talked about him yet. Like that's
DJ Turner.
DJ Turner him tomorrow.
DJ Turner is right now. DJ Turner is a lockdown corner.
You should be signing him.
He's a 1.
He should be sitting in front of the picture tomorrow, signing his extension.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
I don't know if they can. I think they can. And then
I don't think
Dax
they can
Hill.
right now.
I think Dax Hill cares. I think he's an okay player. Is he a first?
I keep Dax Hill. Dax Hill is one of the ones I set aside, and I keep.
He's going to be here. We picked up his option, so he's here next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's one to set aside. You set those guys aside, and you keep them. I mean, I think that the point with you, I'm sorry, with
I bring in
DJ. With DJ,
what I think we should do.
But listen, with DJ Turner, I think that you bring in a good point, though. I mean, sign the guy, sign him.
DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Miles Murphy, they're going to be here next year. They're going to be on the team. Shamar Stewart's going to be on the team.
But I remember I told you at the beginning, or not at the beginning, maybe like 4 or 5 podcasts ago, that I would have signed Osai to more than just a 1 year. I would have. I give him a couple years. I want to see what he has. I want to see what he has, Jeff. We don't have a big sample size. To me, I mean, maybe we do. Maybe we have a big enough sample size. But to me, I don't have enough sample size to say, you know what, that's it. I'm done on that experiment too. But I do.
Whenever
I
I
agree
think
with you,
about
Miles
that,
Murphy. I think that you're saying that with Miles Murphy too, though. That that was probably his best game as a Bengal.
Yeah.
Well, that was his best game as a Bengal.
he's a first-round pick,
Yep.
Osai's the third. Also, I still can't get out of my mind Osai getting the personal foul in Kansas City.
I know. I can't either.
I can't lose
I can't either. I know.
So,
I got
but
it.
here's what I would do. Here's my quick fix for the Bengals. Here, we're 35 minutes in. We could go for hours. We won't do that. Let's keep it to 45. I would let Trey walk. Don't tag and trade. Just it's done. Right? He hasn't been healthy this year anyway. Who knows what he gets on the open market with the injuries and things. You let him walk. Miles Murphy, it's your role, right? I think you have to bring in two.
Are you ready? You're ready to put Miles Murphy into that role?
Just hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. I'm bringing in two veteran linebackers to admit we missed on the two rookies. Doesn't mean they're not on the team. Doesn't mean they can't be depth pieces, special teams guys, third linebackers, all that. I'm not running those two guys out there, second-year linebackers. You cannot do it. I'm getting mid-level linebackers to come in here.
But you had a mid-level linebacker, Jeff. You had Logan Wilson was a mid-level linebacker.
Nah, he's
God,
dude.
yes, he was. Dude, listen, before Logan Wilson got injured, Logan Wilson was good. He was good.
He's done.
He was good, but he has not been healthy for over a year. I'm not sold. I can't tell you that. I can't say that I'm sad to see, or I can't say I'm happy to see him go.
I need dudes that want to hit you in the mouth, that can get a little nasty, that aren't soft. This defense is soft.
Oh, they're horrible.
My ass.
They're horrible.
They
I know.
Stink and they're soft.
I got
Get dudes like I don't need a Vontez Burfict lunatic level player.
I do.
Not in today's NFL. You can't.
But there's something to your point there. Okay, so
linebacker safety.
When was the last time we had a player on defense that you were afraid, if you were a wide receiver going across the middle, you were afraid of that screen pass, or you're afraid of that slant? You're afraid of that. When was the last time that we had that player?
Jesse Bates.
That's it. Jesse Bates.
Mike Hilton. Yeah. I mean, look at the hits that Mike Hilton put on Josh Allen in the playoffs. I mean,
how about Adam?
5'8", 185.
Well, we just the Adam Pac-Man Jones, Vontez Burfict. Bring those guys. Listen, that's the mentality that you're talking about. You're talking about the mentality that a team comes into another team's, stadium, and I don't think I'm going across the field on Vontez. Well, Pac-Man's lurking back there. I don't think I'm doing that. We don't have that player. We don't have those players on defense. So there's no killer mentality. There's no, I'm going to get after that quarterback because I'm going to take that last sack and kick him out and get him out of field goal position. We don't have those players. And I don't think you can manufacture them. We have a few of them.
If you're on the Patriots, who are you fearing if Trey Hendrickson's out?
Well, I know I'm not throwing my number one wide receiver.
I'm saying I don't want to get hit by that guy. I'm scared of.
That's what I'm saying. There is no one on the roster that's scary. There's no enforcer. In hockey it's the enforcer, right? You roll out that guy that he's only going to have 10 goals a game, but he's going to crush you, right?
Okay.
We don't have that guy, and we haven't had that guy since Vontez Burfict.
Rapid fire. We're going to fix the Bengals here in 6 minutes, okay?
Okay.
This has got to be split second. I'm going to ask you a name. You tell me. Don't think about what their contract is, just whether you want them back next year or not.
Okay.
Miles Murphy.
Yes.
BJ Hill.
No.
TJ Slayton.
No.
Shamar Stewart probably has to be because he's a first-round pick, right? But I think if we had our druthers, no.
You got to see what you got.
Oren Burks.
No.
The two rookie linebackers, we pretty much have to, right? Have to have them on the roster.
I keep them.
Geno Stone.
No.
Jordan Battle.
No.
Cam Taylor-Britt.
No.
Sucks he got hurt. That's a shitty injury. The list rank injury, it sucks.
Yeah.
DJ Turner.
Yes.
Dax Hill.
Yes.
Am I leaving anybody out that's on the starting defense right now? So that's by my math, that's 3 guys that would be coming. So you got to find 8 new, right? And you're going to be picking most likely in the top 10 of the draft unless we go on a Burrow run.
You're picking top 10. You're picking top 10. It depends on how aggressive you want to be in free agency too.
Okay. free agency. So let's go to the offensive side of the ball. I think obviously Burrow, Chase, Higgins, we can throw them out like we know they're keeping.
Gesicki too.
Gesicki. Okay. Orlando Brown Jr.
No.
Dylan Fairchild.
Yes.
Ted Karras.
Yes.
Jalen Rivers.
Yes.
Dalton Reisner.
Yes.
For Cody Ford. Cody Ford.
No.
Drew Sample.
No.
Amarius Mims.
No.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to because
you have to keep him. You have to keep him. But if I had to cut him right now, no.
You would.
Yeah.
So we're cutting both our tackles.
Yep.
Okay.
Are you keeping one?
I'd keep Mims.
Why?
I think Orlando Brown, like you're going to have to. I didn't say we'd mention money, but I did look at this. So it's a $7.75 million cap hit if we cut him.
Okay.
But he's a $21 million hit if we keep him. So
yeah,
he'd stay $14 million. But like, what are you gonna go get Jonah Williams back for 14? Like, right. So
right.
I think like there's conversations to have. Like maybe you can figure something out there. All right, Yossi Voss.
Yes.
Tinsley.
Yes.
Jermaine Burton.
Yes. No.
Charlie Jones.
No.
All right, so we went through. All right, we don't have to do punters and kickers. We can. I wish I'd just get that out of the game, but whatever. So where I'm going with this is it's not. So you got really 8 guys on offense and 3 on defense that you want to keep.
Yep.
Roughly starters. So half your team is back. You have
to replace. That's assuming that. That's
that.
also assuming that there's the players out there to replace them too, man. I mean, you can't just go out and drop 8 players.
Well, but
I know you should. I know you should.
If you're drafting 10 and 42, those guys should be playing next year for you both.
If they are, yes.
Right. So there's 2.
Yep.
Bring in 3 veteran defensive players. Like there's still gonna be people that want to come in and play with Burrow and Chase and right. And
where are our first and second round draft picks from this year?
They suck, is what they. I mean, they're playing. I mean, Shamar Stewart's out. The injuries with him, that's another thing.
I care less. I haven't seen anything from him.
Demetrius Knight, I want him to be good because he's like a likable dude, and so is Barrett Carter. Like I really want them to find something here. But if they play the next 7 games and they're literally the worst, you cannot run them back out there.
No, you can't. You can't. But I was excited when I saw Carter for the first time. It looked like a bowling ball, man. And he was busting through some guys. He was making big tackles. He had some tackles for a loss. I liked what I saw. And then in the next 2-3 games, it kind of went back to, okay, well, we might as well have Jermaine Pratt back there,
I think he does. He's a guy that cares. Demetrius Knight strikes me as a guy.
He does. If you're saying, hey, are you keeping Demetrius Knight? Yes, I am. If Demetrius Knight is leaving this year and he's not a rookie, I still keep him.
I think if Knight and Carter are your 3rd and 4th linebackers,
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
They can't be your 1 and 2. So you got to bring in 2 linebackers. I think the Logan Wilson thing, like that obviously sucks because he had some great moments as a Bengal. I think that was the right part to just move on. Like, hey, maybe he strikes like I watched him with the Cowboys the other night. He looked like the same guy that was below average with the Bengals. Like he's just what he is. Right. Like, but also the Bengals paid him for probably what he used to be and it bit him. They invested in I think one of the bigger mistakes they made is they invested in Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt instead of Jesse Bates. Mistake.
No, I mean, there's nobody here that's going to argue that the Jesse Bates was a mistake because it was a mistake. Everybody knows that. And, there is nobody that is more sour about that I know than you. You absolutely hate that fact. And the thing is you can't go back. You can't take it back. You can't. Let's get back here. Okay, so let's get back.
Wait, they sold me, though. They sold me that the reason they didn't pay Jesse was because they were going to pay T. And then they didn't want to pay T until Joe Burrow got up in Dallas while his house is getting robbed and said T is a need. Then all of a sudden that shit changed. So back to you.
All right. So back to me here for the last give me about 30 seconds.
Yeah, go for it.
We have some big things coming up on Sunday. We have a possible comeback of Joe Burrow. We have a possible play of Joe Flacco, and we have the third possibility that we're going to see Jake Browning. Which one of those are the most likely to happen in your mind right now?
I think so. We'll do this as a start bench cut.
Yep.
Start Burrow, bench Flacco, and Browning is your third. He's emergency quarterback. You can make him active. Burton's still not active. I'm saying that too.
Yep.
People think he's going to be active. I still say he's inactive if Gesicki's back.
Yep.
But I say, but I think Burrow starts Sunday. I really do.
Okay.
There's too much smoke out there. Too many people that are now national saying, I think Burrow's going to play. You think they don't know something? Like, it would be.
Well, did you see the
crazy.
Vegas odds, Jeff? Because that was more
yes.
selling to me. The Vegas odds, the Vegas odds on that from Joe Flacco playing the Patriots. What would it go down? Went down like
it went from
7?
10-7 after Burrow went full.
That's right.
So now,
when that rumor came out,
you that don't care about the Patriots or Bengals, in case you're listening to this, you better go snatch that Patriots -7 right now.
I know, right?
Because there's no guarantee Burrow plays, and also there's no guarantee that he's like not rusty.
No,
right? Like there's like it's not like he's gonna like. I mean though, what a story, what a ride it could be, Josh. Just I know I do this and it never comes true, but maybe it will one time. What a ride it could be that Burrow comes out Sunday, goes off 350, 4 tutters, and we get a couple days. Jamar comes back. It's Thanksgiving. Your belly's full. You got a bunch of wine in you, and you got one eye open. And you're watching Burrow versus Lamar on Thanksgiving night. Like, come on, football gods, give us that. Give us 4 days of happiness and thankfulness. It is the thankful season. Please, God, for the love of God. I'm thankful for Joe Burrow that he actually gives a shit and wants to be a Bengal. Thank God for him for now.
Yeah. Wow.
But Katie, you better fucking fix this, because in 2 years from now, those number 9 and number 1, they're not going to twiddle their thumbs. They're not going to sit around. They're going to give you opportunity because you paid them. But 2 years from now, they're going to be looking at what's next for them, not what's next for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah,
so
you got to watch out.
You have to
watch out. You got to watch out for T. Higgins' mom too. She'll get you.
Yeah, I don't want her coming after me. That's for sure.
Not me either. Not me either.
So Josh, this was great. 48 minutes. Awesome. At Jungle Theater, anywhere, follow us, give us a like, subscribe on YouTube. Again, we're just here, 2 guys bullshitting. We love the Bengals. Let's go get a win on Sunday. I know we want draft picks, but I cannot root to lose.
I can't either.
And if Burrow's playing, we're playing to win.
That's right.
Let's go. Who day?
Who day? Let's go.
All right.